Hi, my name is Brad Yates. This is the final prototype of my individual project for CS6750 titled Looks Good to Me. It improves on the task of reviewing large pull requests in GitHub. And the heuristics I focused on were flexibility and efficiency of use, visibility of system status, and aesthetic and minimalist design. Current interface does a good job with the last one, but not the first two. So we'll start here. We have a fake data set where there's some regen files, 6 commits. We look to see that the file has changed, shows 1,000 plus. And now we have the option to use our new prototype. It's under this warning that there are more than 1,000 files, so it's focused on only one file at a time, which could be really hard for that many files. So let's choose to split the pull request. And if we don't, we can have this option that says no thanks, come back to it later. People that don't have that many files can still benefit from the prototype, and there's some built-in documentation with more links. So let's split the pull requests. And the first thing we see is that 1,000 files changed to 2,047, the true number in the pull request. Progress already shows that one of the chunks was approved, and there's 2 other chunks left. See these chunks here in the grid. They have an impact score, an AI summary, some more links, number of files, reviewed by, and see Copilot reviewed that one, and comments. It looks like that was auto-approved. The chunking process gives us some synopsis here on what the pull request was about, its reasoning behind chunking into 1, 2, and 3. And then we can look at more details. Yeah, we see that there's some previous examples here on these files changing in previous pull requests, so it was confident that that's just a minimal impact and could be auto-approved. Here in the more for chunk 2, maybe not as many examples, assigned it a low but did not approve it. And then chunk 3, there were no examples, so it was not confident. It marked this as critical and said these are significant changes. Let's look at that. Yeah, we see these are really important C# files. And there's a lot of changes, so we're just going to assign that to Bob, who's our principal software engineer. We have that same kind of synopsis up here in case we need to reference it in the message. And it's assigned to frequent Bob. This doesn't prevent us from looking at what Copilot reviewed. Yeah, looks like just a ton of auto-generated files here. It's surprising that this chunk is still over the 1,000 limit. But we have the option now. There's a new review mode option to force that into multiple, which could incur some performance issues, but it still removes the constraint. Turn that back off. And we have the option to still view files. We can mark all viewed. This turns into an undo, so users aren't scared of using it. There's a quick undo. So that was a lot of files that changed. And then we can see that Copilot did review this, but still gives us the option of adding our own comments, approving it ourselves, or basically negating that Copilot review and sending this back for review. Now on chunk 2, we see this is much, much smaller. Really easy to manage now if there's only 30 files we have to look at. So we see the file types, some settings, again, that review mode. Some users might prefer to be more in a focus style, looking at one file at a time. When we're in that focus view, you can use these shortcuts assigned to up, down. So move to the next and the previous file and mark them as reviewed or viewed. And the file type view, let's go ahead and turn off CS Proj. So we're looking at everything but. You can see here some immediate system feedback that 6 files are now hidden, and this turns blue saying that there's a file filter active. And we're just going to mark all these as viewed. Immediate feedback that the progress has gone up, so just 6 files left. Let's invert that filter. And we can view one at a time here. Just pretend that we did that for all of them. Review changes, approved. And then it looks like Bob may have gotten to his, so let's refresh this. There you go. Frequent Bob said, look good to me. We can always go back to the old way, or we can adopt this new way of working. Thank you.